Tamar Braxton is right now in the hospital fighting for her life because apparently there's been some reports that for everybody to pray for Tamar and her family. And this girl tweeted back, oh, who is she fighting now? You know, and it just makes me so upset when people have no compassion, man. Like none. Like, this girl's in the hospital fighting for her life. That's what she's fighting for. And it's real life. This ain't reality TV.
The hospital room was quiet, but outside the city was burning. The white sheets, the beeping machines, the smell of antiseptic, none of it could silence the storm Tamar Braxton had started with. Just a few words. For days, Atlanta had been buzzing. Gossip blogs were on fire. Timelines were drowning in hashtags. But when Tamar Braxton finally spoke from her hospital bed, the city froze. And the words that left her mouth weren't whispers, they were accusations, and those accusations pointed directly at Yandy Smith and Mendeecees Harris.
Tess.
But we already know you shouldn't even be dealing with him.
And you around here going through by that lady husband?
What?
Girl, you a better woman than I ever be.
Oh, wait a minute, they are not together.
Okay, Vince, I need advice. What do I do?
Well, you gotta love yourself first. Man.
I didn't cheat. I got taken down.
You expect for him to get over that?
I ain't know it was gonna get real life in there, bitch.
No, it's about to get real life in here.
Either you cut it, I cut it.
No, we're not cutting it.
Okay, well, I'm cutting it. Just give me the goddamn shit. I'll do it.
You guys were not equally yoked.
But there is a time where a man stops being a hoe, right?
When they want to.
As long as they hang down in the front, they're gonna run. But they don't want you running.
If he's the only thing I got, well then I must not have a lot.
I gotta pee.
Let's rewind. Tamar Braxton, famous for her voice, her drama, and her unapologetic honesty, spent that night moving through Atlanta like a flame looking for gasoline. Dinner with Funky Dineva at Ruth's Chris was supposed to be simple, a birthday meal. Some laughter, a little Instagram glow to remind the world she could still shine. But by the time Tamar Braxton stepped into V12 Lounge, the night had already turned.
I feel like being messy, and the girls in the winter just gonna have to get me, okay? Why is the folks saying that the night of that tragic accident with Tamar, she was actually on a date booed up with Mendeecees? Yes, married Mendeecees, the one that's going through it right now on Love and Hip Hop for cheating on Yandy with all them women. Yes, they are saying that him and Tamar was holding hands, all canoodled up, booed up in the club.
And waiting inside was Mendeecees Harris. Yes, Mendeecees Harris, the man who hides behind silence while chaos surrounds him. The man whose name has been dragged through every corner of reality TV. Witnesses swear Tamar Braxton and Mendeecees Harris weren't just being friendly. They were leaning close, whispering, brushing hands. They looked like the club had become their private world. But where there's Mendeecees Harris, there's always Yandy Smith. And the second Yandy Smith walked in, the energy changed. People felt it before they even saw her, the sharp air, the tense silence. The stares bouncing between Tamar Braxton, Mendeecees Harris, and Yandy Smith. It was the kind of silence that comes before an explosion. What happened next depends on who you ask. Some say Tamar Braxton laughed too loud, trying to play it cool. Some say Yandy Smith walked up calm, hiding fire behind her polished smile. But one thing is clear, Tamar Braxton and Yandy Smith clashed. You got a problem? Tamar Braxton allegedly snapped. Do I? Yandy Smith shot back, eyes sharp as glass. Phones went up. Drinks froze, and Mendeecees Harris silent as always, letting the storm build around him. That's his pattern. Women destroy each other while Mendeecees Harris stays quiet. But Tamar Braxton isn't built for silence. She got louder. She threw shade across the room. You think you own him, Tamar Braxton allegedly said. That's when the chaos began. Some say a drink flew. Some say Tamar Braxton slapped a glass. Others claim Yandy Smith shoved it. Whatever it was, the club exploded. Security rushed in. People screamed. And in the blur, one name echoed louder than the music. Cousin Kesha for love and hip-hop fans. That name means trouble. Cousin Kesha, the same woman who once stormed a reunion stage and attacked Samantha, the mother of Mendeecees Harris's child, while Yandy Smith stayed camera-ready and clean. So when Tamar Braxton left that lounge bloodied and broken, fans didn't hesitate. They connected the dots. Tamar Braxton clashed with Yandy Smith, and Cousin Kesha pulled up. By morning, it wasn't just whispers anymore. Tamar Braxton herself posted the shocking words, "I almost died. I was found in a pool of blood. I fractured my nose. I lost my teeth. I don't even know what happened." The internet erupted. At first, people showed sympathy but soon came the questions. How could Tamar Braxton lose for teeth and not remember? How could Tamar Braxton fracture her nose and not know how? To fans, it didn't sound like an accident, it sounded like an attack. And now, from her hospital bed, Tamar Braxton confirmed the whispers that had been circling for days. I didn't just fall, she said. I was attacked, and I know exactly who was behind it. The room froze. Reporters leaned closer, and Tamar Braxton, swollen and bruised, didn't stutter. Yandy Smith and Mendeecees Harris, let that sink in. Tamar Braxton lying in a hospital bed, accusing Yandy Smith of orchestrating her downfall and dragging Mendeecees Harris into the fire. This wasn't gossip anymore, this was an accusation. On Instagram Lives, people replayed Tamar Braxton's statement again and again, analyzing every pause, every tear, every moment she said Mendeecees Harris's name. They compared it to his history, the times Mendeecees Harris let rumors spin, the times Mendeecees Harris stayed silent while women tore each other apart. And the verdict was clear, Tamar Braxton had dragged Mendeecees Harris without mercy. But here's the fire starter, Tamar Braxton didn't just accuse Yandy Smith and Mendeecees Harris. She gave detail from her hospital bed. Tamar Braxton described the look in Yandy Smith's eyes that night in the lounge, cold, calculated. A look that froze the entire room. Yandy Smith stared me down like she already knew what was coming, Tamar Braxton said, and Mendeecees Harris sat there pretending silence would save him. But silence doesn't save anyone, silence makes you guilty. Those words cut deep. Fans remembered the reunion brawl, they remembered Cousin Kesha charging the stage. They remembered how Yandy Smith always looked polished while Cousin Kesha did the dirty work. Suddenly, Tamar Braxton's bloody confession wasn't just her story, it looked like a pattern. And then came the betrayal of Funky Dineva. Tamar Braxton didn't let him off the hook. She revealed how she texted Funky Dineva about her missing teeth, her broken nose, her blood on the floor, and how did he respond? With laughter, with jokes, with shade. Calling her that lady. Funky Dineva was supposed to be my friend, Tamar Braxton said, but instead of helping me, he mocked me. He wanted clicks more than he cared about my life. The internet turned on Funky Dineva instantly. His parody wanted poster that once seemed funny now looked cruel. Fans said he wasn't protecting Tamar Braxton, he was protecting Yandy Smith and Mendeecees Harris. Maybe even covering for himself. Meanwhile, the silence of Mendeecees Harris grew unbearable. No denial, no defense, no attempt to stand by his wife Yandy Smith or protect Tamar Braxton's name, just nothing. And that nothing was louder than words. Think about it, if Tamar Braxton was lying, why didn't Mendeecees Harris call her out? If Tamar Braxton was confused, why didn't Mendeecees Harris defend his wife? If Tamar Braxton was wrong, why didn't Mendeecees Harris shut it down instead? Mendeecees Harris stayed silent, and that silence screamed guilt. Meanwhile, Yandy Smith's silent strategy was cracking. Under her Instagram posts, comments turned savage. On TikTok, fans mocked her polished videos, editing them side by side with Tamar Braxton's bloody confession. On YouTube, bloggers compared Yandy Smith to a mafia boss, calm and clean, but always with muscle in the shadows, and that muscle was Cousin Kesha. The hashtag KeshaPulledUp exploded across Twitter. Memes put Cousin Kesha's reunion stage attack next to Tamar Braxton's swollen hospital photo. Same cousin, same playbook, one fan wrote. Another said, Yandy Smith doesn't fight, Cousin Kesha fights for her. And then Tamar Braxton doubled down from her hospital bed. Tamar Braxton posted receipts, a text she claimed she sent to Funky Dineva. I'm missing for teeth, my nose is broken, I don't even remember what happened. The timestamp, the morning after the club, the panic in her words, unmistakable. And her caption? Deadly, friends who laugh at your pain are not friends, men who sit silent while you bleed are not men, and women who send others to fight will one day face the truth. Boom, names were clear, Yandy Smith, Mendeecees Harris, Funky Dineva, Cousin Kesha. All tied to Tamar Braxton's bloodied face and broken teeth. The internet devoured it, bloggers broke down her posts frame by frame, fans dissected every sentence. And the silence of the accused made her voice even louder. By the third day, Atlanta was on fire. Every blog, every show, every feed replayed Tamar Braxton's swollen face. She wasn't just a victim now, she was a symbol of silence cracking, a symbol of revenge. A symbol of what happens when Mendeecees Harris is too close, when Yandy Smith is in the shadows, when Cousin Kesha shows up. And Tamar Braxton wasn't finished. From her hospital bed, hooked to IVs, Tamar Braxton stared into her phone and dropped the bomb. Everyone keeps asking if I'm scared, and yes, I am, but not of the truth. I'm scared of how far they'll go to hide it. Yandy Smith, you know what happened. Mendeecees Harris, you know you were there. Funky Dineva, you know. You covered it up. Covered it up. The internet froze. Hashtags exploded. Hashtag TAMA or names. Hashtag Yandy exposed. Hashtag Mendeecees silent. Hashtag Funky Nude. And finally, Yandy Smith silence cracked. She didn't go live. She didn't release a full statement. She posted an Instagram story. Don't believe everything you hear. God fights my battles. 12 words. But those 12 words burned the internet. Fans dragged her instantly. Translation, guilty. She's hiding behind God when she should be telling the truth. Yandy Smith doesn't fight battles. Cousin Kesha does. Meanwhile, Tamar Braxton kept repeating Mendeecees Harris's name. I watched him sit there. She said in another clip, I watched him let it happen. Mendeecees Harris, you didn't say a word. You didn't stop it. You didn't protect me. You left me to die. That line, you left me to die, cut like a knife. Fans replayed it endlessly. On Twitter, people wrote, Mendeecees Harris is worse than Yandy Smith. At least she fights. He just watches. Another said, silent men are the most dangerous. Mendeecees Harris built his life on silence. Now Tamar Braxton is tearing it down. And then came the final dagger. Tamar Braxton ended her third hospital post with one chilling sentence, if they don't stop lying on me, I'll drop the videos. The internet exploded. Videos, fans screamed, Tamar Braxton has footage, blogs speculated. What did Mendeecees Harris let happen that she caught on camera suddenly? Silence wasn't just suspicious, it was deadly because if Tamar Braxton had footage, everything would come crashing down on Yandy Smith, Mendeecees Harris, Cousin Kesha and Funky Dineva.